Hello, good evening Facebook. Welcome to the latest live session. It's a very exciting day today. Not only have you got me live, I'm going to be giving you a Help to Buy Equity Loan Masterclass, but it's also the return of the Premier League. So I'm sure if you're a football fan like me, you're going to be very, very happy that the football's going to be back on our box. Just quickly, thank you to everyone that's been joining me over the last few weeks. For those of you that comment and that like the post and share the post, thank you so much. Your support is gratefully received as always. And again, I'd love it so much if you could please like this post, share this post somewhere down here. You'd be supporting a small local business and I'd be ever so thankful. Again, thank you to those of you that voted over the last 24 hours about the subject you most wanted me to cover this evening. The clear winner was the Help to Buy Equity Loan. So tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the Help to Buy Equity Loan, and this is the Help to Buy Equity Loan Masterclass. Please let me know if you've got any questions or queries. Put them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them live tonight. So the Help to Buy Equity Loan is only available for new build properties. It's available for properties up to £600,000, and currently it's available for both first time buyers and home movers, but only until the end of March 2021, and we'll come to those dates again shortly. There's a new scheme replacing it from April 2021 onwards. So the scheme itself is, like I say, only available for new build properties, and it enables you to take a 20% equity loan from the government. So you would need to put in a minimum of a 5% deposit. You could take a 20% equity loan deposit from the government outside of London, and up to 40% equity loan inside London, and then you would mortgage the remainder. So if we look at a typical Help to Buy purchase outside of London for a purchase price of £300,000, you would need to put in a 5% deposit. So you've got £300,000 property, 5% deposit is £15,000. You could then get a 20% equity loan, which would be £60,000, and then the remaining amount, the rest, which is 75%, equals £225,000 you would need to obtain a mortgage for. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you're still with me and I've not lost you, give me a little thumbs up just to confirm that makes sense. That'd be good. The equity loan, the 20%, would be interest free for the first 5 years. So you don't make any payments for the first 5 years. After 5 years, you do need to start paying back the interest, but they only ask for the interest to be repaid as a minimum. So what you need to be mindful of here is that you're not actually paying back the capital, you are just servicing the interest that's charged, starting at 1.75%. Okay, so if we use that previous example that I gave for a property of £300,000, your equity loan is £60,000, so that's 20%. You would end up paying back after 5 years £87.50 per month, and that works out at £1,050 per annum. Okay, but again, that's just interest and you're not servicing the actual debt. It's just to service the debt itself. You're not actually paying back the capital. So that's something you need to figure out and discuss with your mortgage advisor how you're going to repay that Help to Buy Equity Loan at some stage. There are some key benefits to the Help to Buy Equity Loan scheme. One of them being that you only need a 5% deposit, which in this market right now today is one of very few options available to put in just 5%. So the fact you need a smaller deposit, this benefits people that have got a 5% deposit, is a key benefit there. Because you've got a 5% deposit and the government is giving you 20%, collectively there is a 25% deposit going in, and that means you can access much lower interest rates because they treat your 5% and the government's 20% equity loan collectively as a 25% deposit. So you can benefit and access 75% loan to value mortgage products, which are at a lower rate of interest than they would be if you were just putting in a 5% and getting a 95% mortgage. So there's some key benefits there for you. Now, the scheme is going to be changing from the 1st of April 2021. So the scheme that I've just described there is available up to the 31st of March 2021, and that is for legal completion. So all the legals must have gone through and you must have completed by then. So it's likely that the new builders, the developers, will stop reservations on the current scheme in December 2020, January 2021, unless the house is already built and a quick sale can go through. But legal completion must take place before the end of March 2021. Then the new scheme starts. So the good news is the scheme is not stopping completely, but it is going to be changing. And from April 2021, the key changes to the scheme are that it will only be available to first-time buyers. Okay, so home movers, second-time movers, previous homeowners won't be able to access the new Help to Buy scheme from April 2021 onwards. The other key change is that there will be regional caps in place. So depending on where you are in the country, there will be a limit in terms of the maximum property price you can buy using the Help to Buy equity loan scheme. To give you some examples, in London that will be £600,000. In the southeast, it's going to be capped at £437,600. I don't know how they've got to that number, but it's a bit of an odd one. 437,600 in the southeast, and in the East Midlands 261,900. Again, a bit of an odd number. Why they didn't just do 262,000, God knows. I'm sure there's some logic behind it somewhere. What we don't know yet is what area of the country will fit into those. So London is relatively straightforward, but there is outer London. Southeast will include my local areas such as Bicester, Buckinghamshire, Banbury area, all those surrounding areas. Brackley, we're yet to know whether it's going to fall within southeast, and therefore you can buy properties up to 437,600, or whether it falls within East Midlands. Sometimes in some things it falls within Midlands, others it's in southeast, so we're yet to know, but that could drastically decrease the prices that are going to be available on the Help to Buy scheme come April 2021 if Brackley's including in East Midlands, because the maximum will be 261,900. Yet Brackley demands southeast prices, so we'll need to excuse me, we need to find out what Help to Buy's views are going to be on that. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense there. If you've got any questions or queries or comments to make on the Help to Buy scheme in its current form, or the new Help to Buy scheme that's going to take place from April 2021, feel free to pop them in the comments now, and I'll be happy to answer any questions on them. So what happens at the end of the 5 years? Well, the first thing you could do is just pay back the interest payments that are being charged by Help to Buy. The alternative is after 5 years you could remortgage and consolidate the equity loan, so swallow up that equity loan and have a larger mortgage, but that would mean because you've consolidated on the mortgage, you'd be paying back all of its entirety, not just the interest. So that's one option for you. If you were to do a remortgage on the Help to Buy equity loan, there are a few things to consider. You would need to get the property revalued, and the Help to Buy equity loan is 20% of the new value. So if it's gone up in value, regardless of what the amount you took out originally was, it would be 20% of the new value. Okay. You need to obtain that value from a RICS chartered surveyor at your own expense. I've helped people to arrange those surveys for my customers. You're looking at around about £250, including VAT, for a Help to Buy survey. Help to Buy will also charge you an administration fee to redeem the Help to Buy equity loan, currently £200. Okay. You then also need to appoint a solicitor to take Help to Buy, the Help to Buy charge, remove that from the title deeds. Solicitor's costs will vary, but you're probably looking at a minimum of £500. So it's going to be the best part of £1,000 as a minimum to proceed with a Help to Buy remortgage. Hopefully that makes sense. Alternatively, after 5 years, you can just keep your mortgage as it is and just continue to service the monthly payments. But eventually, you are going to need to repay that Help to Buy equity loan at some point. So, it can't just keep servicing the interest after 25 years. The government are going to want that money back. So either you pay that back from cash, could be savings, could be an inheritance, or you remortgage in the example that I've just given, or you would need to sell the property to repay the Help to Buy equity loan in full. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. The majority of my customers are coming to me after 5 years, and we're simply remortgaging, swallowing up and consolidating the Help to Buy equity loan, and then repaying that alongside their mortgage over the mortgage term. And that's pretty much it really in regards to the Help to Buy equity loan. I hope I've not lost you. I hope you've kept with me. If you can give me a thumbs up to say that that's understood and makes sense, please do let me know if you've got any comments, questions or queries. I'll be happy to help and happy to answer them on the live session, or you can contact me privately and I'll answer afterwards. Just a quick recap then. So the Help to Buy equity loan is only available on new build properties. Currently, at the time of recording, up to £600,000, and it's available to both first-time buyers and home movers until the end of March 2021. You can get a 20% equity loan outside of London and up to 40% equity loan inside London. You would need to put in a minimum of a 5% deposit. We're looking at an example of a property being purchased at £300,000. You would need to put in a 5% deposit, which is £15,000. You get an equity loan for the 20%, which is £60,000, and then you need to mortgage the remaining 75%, which would be £225,000. After 5 years, you need to start paying back the interest. The first 5 years, it's interest free. After 5 years, you start paying back the interest. The interest rate starts at 1.75%. So on that example I've just given, your payments will be £87.50 a month. It's around about £1,050 per annum. That said, you do have the opportunity to remortgage and consolidate that Help to Buy equity loan after that 5 year period. Good. Hopefully you're still with me and that makes sense. As always, if you've got any questions or queries about the Help to Buy equity loan or mortgages in general or the property market in general, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. And again, I'd be so grateful if you could kindly like this post, share this post. There's a button somewhere on your screen. That would be much appreciated. Thank you so much for your support as always. And I love you all, and I will see you next Wednesday at 7:30. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.